So here we are in problem solving because of motivation. So I love problems because in my self-taught life, I found out that it's a joy to solve a problem. And actually, you know what? We are being told in school most of the time. You see, I really seem to hate school. I was thrown out of so many. But that when you have a problem, look for solution. No. When you have a problem, look at the problem. And the problem, most of the time, has a solution within itself. If you have a fire problem, think fire. If you have an ice problem, think ice. You will. The solution is right hidden. The problem has the solution hidden behind its face. So that was the beginning. And another joy that I had was that in my ebullition to solve problems, I found out that most problems, and you know that, I'm sure, have more than one solution. So now, when a problem has many solutions, I found out, my teacher was life, I found out that the best solution is the simplest. And now, if you have a few simplest solutions in front of you, the best of those simplest solutions is the most simple and the most elegant. Simplicity and elegance. I have to stop to write that. Who stole my pen? No, it's here. So, simplicity and elegance. Okay. Now, of course, you know me by now. I cannot resist to demonstrate something, right? I am, let's say, putting a high wire, and I am rigging a ladder. I have a big ladder, and I am at the scaffold, and with a rope and a pulley, and we're going to send it to the third level of the scaffold. So I would love, if we had the time, to have a real ladder here, and to ask people to go on stage and to do, what knot would you do? And some people would do 12 knots, thinking 12 knots is better than one. Well, that's of course not true. The right knot is the right knot. So here, for the purpose of my demonstration, I have my little ladder, and this is a ladder problem, to follow my presentation way. What is a ladder? A ladder is two posts with rungs that actually have a little festival of holes. I use the word festival because that's convenient. So, okay, think ladder, think space between rungs. So now let's imagine I do, and I go to the conclusion of our little quiz. I would love to spend half an hour, everybody show me how would you tie a ladder. But the solution, the best solution, that is simple and elegant, is you make a loop at the end of your rope, and you pass the loop through the ladder, and you crown the top. Now, this is not a knot. Did you see me attach the rope? It was a beautiful little move, but it's not really, could be called a knot. Now, when this is lifted in midair, it has a lot of advantage. First, it's super strong. Even jerk will not unhook it. And secondly, if the ladder maybe has a toolbox or there is a lot of wind, it's self-aligning, self-stabilizing, which for rigging is very important. Now, the ladder arrives to the third floor. What do? You take the tension out, and with one hand, one finger, you let go of the loop. You cannot call that untying a knot. It's just flipping the rope away. So I love that because it's so ingenious. I didn't invent it, unfortunately, and I cannot resist showing you something else. I mean, we're still in the problem and solution. This is a claw hammer. So if it were up to me, I will just throw it to the third level of the scaffold and have my juggler friend catch it. But I don't think that will go with the OSHA regulations. So let's make it with a rope. The problem is claw. So think claw. What is a claw? Well, a claw is a narrow little canyon getting narrower and narrower. And at the end, something can be wedged there. Well, let's do a termination knot, which is a knot that terminates a rope so it cannot run out of a pulley or something. So now I have a termination knot, and I offer it to the claw, who bites it immediately. But that's really not enough. I mean, if I would bring the ladder, the hammer like this, it could go off. So what I need, and it's not a knot, again, I'm so proud that it's not a knot, it's a little loop. It's a half a loop. So now here I am. Let me do it clearly for you. And it's much more difficult to do it with a little model than in real life. I do here my half a loop, and now I pull the ladder. I pull the hammer. And again, for some reason, if the hammer is asymmetric in its center of gravity, it will self-align. And then when this arrives upstairs, look at that. You take a little bit of the tension out, and even with one hand, one finger, you take the loop out, and gravity will make the termination knot fall. So these little gems, I mean, I love things like this. I would be so proud to have invented them. To me, is the joy of solving problems.